Hey everybody, welcome to coverage of the Permasand Invitational. This is that tour that I was hosting with ABR, still am hosting, that I told you guys about. It is a game of Gen 3, a game of Gen 4, and a game of Gen 5. We are randomly determining who starts in any given tier in any given round, and then the loser picks the next game. Pretty simple. This is actually round 3 coverage, and this is not an accident or me being lazy. This is a conscious decision on my part. The thing is, unlike Callus Invitational, I'm the only narrator for this, and doing rounds 1 and 2 would be 16 best of 3s each, so it'd be 32 best of 3s for only me, and that's just too much. I couldn't commit to doing that. I don't have the time. It's just too much for one guy, and I didn't want to pick and choose. I thought about just doing some like highlight games, but I didn't want to give unfair coverage. I didn't want to just cover some people but not others. So I decided what to do is I would pick it up in round 3 after there's been some eliminations, and from here on out, you will see coverage of every match on this tour on the channel. For those of you who want to see the earlier matches, those are available. We do have the replays saved. Just come on into my Callus channel, which is the Permasand Invitational channel for now. There's a link in the description on Discord, and you guys can check that out, and all the replays are there. There were definitely some good games in the early rounds. The only other thing I want to do is bring you up to speed and tell you the 8 players who did go 0-2 and are eliminated, and everybody else is still in the tour. So the eliminated players are as follows in alphabetical order. We have Conflict, Dice, Eden, Jabba, of course, Male, Void, Welyu, and Zomog. Those are the 8 players who have been defeated, and now we are resuming in round 3, which is lower bracket only. So every single one of these round 3 matches that you guys are going to see, including this one, is an elimination match. If you lose here, you are out. And the very first match that I'll be covering, as you can see, is Fakes versus Lax. And they are starting in my bread and butter gen that I can narrate, obviously better than I can narrate the other 2. That is, of course, Gen 3 ADV. No more talk. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Let's get to the game. So, Fakes on the bottom, Lax on the top. We have a T-Tar and a Metagross respectively. That obviously favors the meta with the Meteor Mash potential. That's exactly what he does, and he's going to connect with a Fori for 17%. He's going to go for Mash again, even though he's clearly not Choice Banded here, and Fori's going to spike up. Fake's out of the way at this point, and it's a third Meteor Mash. They've all connected, but none of them have attack raised, and this time it's going to be on Registeel. Registeel is going to Thunder Wave, that's going to blank on Claydol, and there is the Rapid Spin to get rid of that spike. The only retaliation is going to be Seismic Toss. So an obvious stall team from Fakes, and we're looking at either a Balance or a Magdoll, it looks like, from Lax. Celebi coming in here for Fakes against the Blissey, which of course can Leech Seed it up, does exactly that. Ice Beam does what you'd expect it to do, about a third, and a lot of that is going to be negated by the Leech Seed. Celebi healthy at 85. Skarm comes in for the first time for Lax. That's also going to be Leech Seeded, as Fakes knew there would be a switch. And it should be a free spike here, but Fori comes in immediately. It is, in fact, a spike. Leech Seed going to help him quite a bit, getting him back up to 96%. Salamence comes in for the first time for Lax, so it does seem to be a balanced team. It could be last poke Mag. We could still be looking at a Magdoll, but it's not guaranteed. And they both do have 1 layer each of spikes. The most reliable Salamence counter, certainly if it is mixed Ments, which it looks like, since we do see the super effective HP Grass there, as opposed to the neutral HP Flying, is this Milotic. So that's a great counter for Fakes. That Salamence should be kept in check by this throughout the game, unless he can get all 3 layers of spikes to stick, and he doesn't seem to have a Gengar. I'd be very surprised if that were his last poke. So Rapid Spin from Fori should be able to happen pretty reliably. Bolt Beam Blissey here. And that is all we've seen. So we don't know if it's CM Bliss or if it just is a normal blow. There's a Fire Blast. All right, so that's going to rule out Calm Mind. It's obviously going to have Soft Boiled, so we now know the full set. We've got Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Fire Blast, and haven't seen Soft Boiled, but come on, it's going to have that. Here comes Skarm switching in, as does T-Tar. Fori coming in. And there's going to be a Roar to get a little chip damage and to roar out something new. That's going to be Gengar for Fakes. So now the only unrevealed in the game is Lax. Belongs to Lax, rather, because Fakes shows the Gengar via the Roar. Will-O-Wisp coming down on the Bliss. Taunt would be very good here, and he does in fact have that to prevent the soft-boiled. Lax went for it. He gets blocked there, and he's going to take more burn damage down to 38%. Here's the follow-up T-Tar. And Ice Beam coming down. No Lucky Freeze to bail him out. T-Tar here is going to be a big problem for Bliss at 26% and burnt. Gets out of the way and gets pursued for 15%. That leaves the Blissey dead to the spike next time it comes in, unless Claydol can remove it between now and then. Milotic comes into meta, Meteor Mash 16%. I'd be careful here to not get Milotic blown up on, because then all of a sudden the Salamence is a real issue. Milo was Surf, and there is the boom. That might be a mistake for Fakes. All of a sudden that Salamence is very dangerous. It's basically only kept in check by the Gengar, and the Gengar does not exactly switch into it. It only offensively checks it, so that might have been a mistake for Fakes to allow the Milotic to go down like that. There's an Earthquake and a Crunch, respectively. Huge damage from both of them, but Claydol is faster here, so despite that Specs drop, he's going to outspeed and knock out the T-Tar to further Lax's lead. He's now got the 5-4 advantage. Gengar comes in looking for revenge. Gengar, a very dangerous Pokemon for Fakes as well, because remember, Blissey here is at 11%, and there's the Spike down, so that's obviously not going to deal with Gengar the way that it normally would. Will-O-Wisp and Drill Peck come down here. The Drill Peck, way less damage with the burn, only 17%, not that exciting. There's Ice Punch just in case Claydol comes in. It doesn't. 30% Disarm. Thunderbolt would kill here. Hell, maybe another Ice Punch would kill. He's going to survive, and he's going to get one more Drill Peck off. 18% more he'll get on the Gengar before succumbing to his burn. Scarm goes down, and here's the last poke T-Tar for Lax, previously unrevealed. Taunt is going to not stop Rock Slide. There's the knockout on Gengar. Fake's now down only 3 Pokemon. 4 for Lax, who once again is up a poke, as he has been throughout the game. But he's going to even it up by foddering the Bliss. We've got ourselves a 3-3. Salamence looks very difficult here. He might have to play for a missed Fire Blast and then an Explosion in order to deal with this thing. And it seems that is what he went for, but the Fire Blast connects with the 85% accuracy, 4 down, and Fakes looking to be in trouble. There is a whiffed counter from Registeel. Not sure what he was going for there. It's probably just another Fire Blast from Lax if he had stayed in. Nevertheless, the counter does nothing. Claydol comes in for the Earthquake. Celebi at about half, going to recover up to almost full. There's the boom to take it down to 13%, and again, Salamence coming in for cleanup duty. This looks like checkmate for Fakes, unless that Registeel can dodge a lot of Fire Blasts. Stranger things have happened. Here it comes. He's at 47%. Can he avoid Fire Blast, get a Thunder Wave off, and then get very cooperative Paras? We're going to find out. There's the Brick Break for 28%. Looks like another won't kill, but Fire Blast should. Thunder Wave gets off. Seismic Toss. Brick Break again. Leaves him at 2%. Going to lefty up to 8%. One more Brick Break will end it. Seismic Toss. And there is the Brick Break. The Paras do not cooperate for Fakes, and Lax is going to take Game 1 in this best-of-3 set. So real quick, to remind you guys the structure of how this works, it is going to be the loser of the game, which, as you can see, is Fakes, choosing the next game. And he chose to play for Game 2, drum roll, DPP. And we're going to do it all in one video to avoid spoilers, so I don't want to redo that ADV narration, but man, am I going to fuck up multiple times in the DPP and the black-white. Bear with me, guys. You know it's not my tier. I'm going to do my damnedest. Here we go. So Fakes has chosen DPP for Game 2. He's going to be on the bottom. Lax is on the top. We're going to keep them where they were. Hippowdon and Zapdos coming down here. Hippo, to me, usually indicates a stall team. Zapdos lead can be anything. Can be stall, can be offense, can be balanced. Doesn't tell us much, but Hippo is almost universally on stall teams, and certainly when he goes to 4E after that, that makes me think stall. But abysmal start for Fakes here. Going to 4E and getting immediately HP fired and killed. That is terrible for Fakes. He has a clear stall team here. This looks KG stall-esque, now busting out the Clefable, and he is going to play without his hazards, which is absolutely terrible for this kind of team. Fakes off to a really, really bad start. And Lax clearly with an offensive team here. Metagross comes in. Meta does not have lefties, and he's going to go for the Meteor Mash and whiff on the incoming Hippo here. Goes for Mash again, 44%. Might be Choice Banded. I don't know the DPP calcs well enough, but to do that much to a Hippo, well, just kidding. It's not Banded because he's going to go for Boom. And he's going to trade with the Hippo here, resulting in a 5-4 situation with Lax, who, as you know, won Game 1 in the lead. Looking to get the 2-0 against the very talented, very drunk Fakes. Here is Latias and Draco Meteor here connecting. Not bad there with the critical hit, 45%. He does, of course, get the specs drop. And here is the Wish hiding behind the Reflect, which is not going to matter against the Zapdos. Zapdos may or may not have Heat Wave, but Lax is going to anticipate the Protect and get a Roost off for free. Good turn for Lax to heal up his Zapdos. Now goes straight for Thunderbolt. Gets a lucky para there on the Rachi and a full para. Nice break there for Lax. Bad turn for Fakes. Another para here. Really bad turn for Fakes. And another Thunderbolt comes down. Can he get him with Heat Wave that he may or may not even have? Protect and Thunderbolt. Fine. Rachi going to lefties up to 47%. Has he been sandbagging it the whole time? Nope, it is just another Thunderbolt, and it's going to connect with the incoming Lati here, knocking it to 56% after lefties. Here's the U-turn. Flygon also probably has U-turn. We might be looking at a mini U-turn chain here, and we'll see if Flygon is going to be enough to scare out Latias. It is. Here's Clefable. There is the U-turn, and that's going to prompt out Heatran here. We know there's no Dougie on the other side for Fakes, which is the worst thing for Heatran, and that's why its popularity has dipped so much recently in modern DPP, because Dugtrio has been everywhere. But Fakes doesn't have that, so Heatran a legit threat in this game. Gyarados here going to go for rest, and Lax takes the opportunity to sneak Flygon in. Very threatening here. Gets out of the way, trying to fodder off the Rachi. It's an outrage. He's going to survive. However, Rachi is not going to be able to live another one. No, he gets the Wish off. He does. He squeaks in and survives. And Confusion kicks in at a bad time for Lax, so maybe Fakes can heal it up. He fails on the Protect, but it's a switch anyway, so he's going to get up to 67%. Here comes Lati. Fire Blast, great chunk there with another critical hit and a burn. Jesus, this game has been a lot of favorable hacks for Lax. It's really been that kind of game. Fakes has not gotten a lot of breaks, and he's not conceding, so maybe he actually does somewhat give a shit about this tour. If he loses this game, whether it's through luck or skill, if he loses one way or another, he's out. This is the lower bracket, remember. This is round 3. These guys are both 1-1 right now. But this has been a game of one-sided hacks so far, heavily favoring Lax. Now, granted, that turn 1 sequence, or turn 2, whatever it was, I think turn 1, where he nailed the 4 with HP Fire, that was not hacks. That was just a really money prediction for Lax. That was just a great play. But several things have gone wrong for Fakes since then. He got that 10% para, then full para. He got his Lati crit burnt. A lot of bad things going on here. Fakes is trying his damnedest to make the comeback. And he's going to knock off the Magnet from Zapdos. Hey, it's progress. There's a para on Clef, because of course. And Soft-Boiled coming down for Clefable anyway. But man, the status effects with the 10% chances have been very cooperative for Lax thus far in this set. Clef is still healthy, and Magnet obviously being removed means the Thunderbolts are doing less, so she's taking them pretty well at about 30% each time. Here comes the Rachi. And Zapdos, of course, going to Roost on the switch. So the game has stabilized a bit, and they both have rocks up, but the Spiker for Fakes went down very early, so he's going to be playing the whole game without those hazards. Heatran threatening the Jirachi with a potential fire attack. He does go for the Fire Blast, and that is going to be resisted and largely negated by the Gyarados. Wish going to get him back up to almost full health. Flygon sneaks in, doesn't really care about the rocks. Sleep Talk comes down. There's Roar to force something else in. That is going to be the Lati. That does care at its current health about the rocks. And we have not seen Recover or any indication that it does have Recover. He goes for Grass Knot here, trying to make a prediction. Doesn't do too much. Goes for Surf here, and the Soft-Boiled gets off. Clefable staring there and laughing at it. Lati switches it up to Draco Meteor. There's the harsh Specs drop, and again full para. Fails to kick in. Clefable at 100%, and Lax seems about done with his Lati. He Draco Meteors for lack of anything better to do. Softboiled negates it completely, and we've got ourselves a 4-4 as the Lati goes down. Now the burnt Lati comes in for fakes. Explosion catches that. Good anticipation for fakes. All of a sudden, we've got a close game here despite the one-sided hacks early on. And in fact, Fakes takes the lead here with an Ice Beam. We still haven't seen the last move, or the last poke rather, for Lax. And he's still hiding it. He refuses to reveal it here. He goes Thunderbolt, doesn't get the crit or the full para that he's looking for. Clefable magic guarding the full para, apparently. And there's the Roost and the Soft-Boiled. Once again, the ever-resilient Clefable is going to be at full health. Thunderbolt and Seismic Toss, respectively. Zapdos does have the 11 Roosts. He's got plenty left, not in any danger yet. And it's just a Soft-Boiled here. The Soft-Boiled count is down to 8 now for the Clef. So, in theory, Zapdos wins this 1v1 unless an unlucky crit or freeze comes down on one of these Ice Beams. There's the Roost. And there's Ice Beam again. There is a critical hit, but remember, he wasn't flying at the time because of Roost, so it wasn't that bad. It was only 39%. Roost again and Ice Beam again, that time only 18%, but the recovery move's starting to even out. He's got only 8 Roosts left, and there's also 8 Soft-Boiled, and there's a crit for Fakes at a great time. It's an Ice Beam on a Thunderbolt turn, so remember, he didn't Roost to get rid of the flying typing, and all of a sudden, Lax is down to his last poke against 3 from Fakes. Immediate knockoff, of course, to get rid of the lefties for Kuhn, and he's going to begin Calm Minding up here. Calm Mind number 2, Seismic Toss. Yeah, the Calm Minds here are coming. There's a big boosted Hydro Pump, and there's a Seismic Toss in return. Clef is going to barely be alive, but nevertheless alive. Here comes Gyra for the Irrelevant Intimidate. There's an Ice Beam going aggro on it, 41%. Another Ice Beam would kill it here. Rachi comes in to try to tank one. And it's going to be Rest for Lax, just in case. Kuhn was getting pretty darn low there. There is Sand in play, and it lost its lefties, so it was going to die if he doesn't make that play. He's forced to rest, and Fakes is trying to take advantage of that. He goes Body Slam here, receives his own wish. Body Slam 18%, not a huge deal. Boosted Hydro Pump, 65% there, but Rachi avoids full power, gets a wish off. Here's Protect. And Calm Mind for Lax, anticipating that. Good play for him. Kuhn now with the 3 boosts here. Even more dangerous. Here's the 4th boost. And there's Body Slam, trying to get him with some Para BS and not let him get a crucial rest off. He goes down to 30%. Here's Gyra coming in on rocks. He's down to 6%. Full Para kicking in at a bad time for Lax. He obviously tried to rest that turn, and he's going to get it off now. He would have died had that not happened, but he manages to get it off. Clefable comes in real low after the Sand kills the Gyarados. We're down to a 2v1 situation. The Seismic Toss is really adding up against Lax. He's going to be asleep. He's going to get Seismic Tossed, and he's going to go down. Somehow, some way, Fakes is going to win this game. I'm not clear as to how he managed to do that. Very one-sided hacks favoring Lax throughout much of the early stage of this, but somehow Fakes is going to make the comeback, and that's going to send us to a decisive Game 3, which is going to be in a tier that I know even less than DPP, so get ready for a really bad black-white narration. Here we go. Third game, and we'll just look at the team preview here before I hit play. So, looks like a stally team for Fakes, a Sand stall of sorts, and a Hail team for Lax. Interesting, not what I was expecting here. Obama, Snow, and Kyurem are not pokes that I see too often here. I didn't think that Ice was too much of an archetype in Black-White. I know that Rain, Sun, and Sand are all archetypes, but I guess we're just doing the whole spectrum of weather. We've got an Ice team here, and we will go ahead and switch the sides for continuity. So Fakes again on the bottom. This is a decisive Game 3. The loser of this game is out of here. They opt for a Scarm and a Rachi lead, and it's an immediate trick putting Choice Scarf on him. And it's going to be Fire Punch from Rachi, who now U-turns out of the way. The burn there would have been devastating had he found it on the 20% chance there, because it would have completely fucked up the Toxic Orb and the Poison Heal. But he managed to get the 80% to cooperate, and he did get the Toxic Orb and the Poison Heal going. Going to get Rocks up on a recover turn after a crit. He also did manage to knock off the lefties. They're going to go back and forth here. Psychic, not a huge deal. There's the Protect as the Poison Heal does its thing. Gliscor getting healthier and healthier here. And they're going to have the Reunculus Mirror match, with the key difference being one of them is lefties and one does not. It's going to be a double switch, however. Fake's going to go to T-Tar, and that is going to catch Starmie on the way in, coming in on both rocks and spikes, down to 76% after that. Crunch is going to take him out just like that. That was a Crunch Pursuit 50-50 that Lax did not win, and just like that, the Starmie is down, and Fakes has a huge advantage in the early stages of this black-white tiebreaker game. Ice Beam from Gastrodon there, aimed at Gliscor, gets protected against. Lax going to switch into Reunculus. That also eats the Ice Beam, takes it really well, just 13%. And here comes another one from the Gastrodon. All that damage recovered away. Goes for another one here, perhaps fishing for a freeze that doesn't come. And here's yet another Ice Beam. But that doesn't get the freeze either. Toxic misses from Lax. At this point, Fake feels compelled to get out of the way. Doesn't want to eat the Toxic. He goes to his Toxic Immune Scarm. Lax all over it. Goes to a Bomb of Snow here and gets the ice coming down. Brave Bird and Leech Seed will keep him just out of range of another Brave Bird. Scarm down to about half, as is the Obama Snow. Brave Bird comes down anyway, but the Reflect working overtime, keeping him alive. Lax incorrectly thinks there'll be a switch and goes for Leech Seed. And the Scarm is going to go aggro here. He's going to go for another Brave Bird, but the Protect here is going to combo with the Leech Seed to keep Obama Snow alive and kill the Scarm, leaving us in a 5-5 situation. T-Tar coming in for the revenge kill. There's the Protect and the Crunch, respectively. Nobody really wants to switch into this here, but somebody has to, and Gliscor is going to be the answer. It comes in and takes only 25%, but there is a defense drop, not a special defense drop. Remember, my ADV viewers, Crunch is physical in these future gens. And here comes a Bomb of Snow going down to just 9% after lefties resetting the weather. Woodhammer, he does have stab on that, is going to do more than nothing, but he's going to KO himself with the recoil. That's going to set up the Kyurem here, who also has to come in on the hazards and be down to 2/3 right out the gate. T-Tar going to be the response, setting up the sand, and there is the substitute. Lax no longer with the ability to make that hail with the Obama Snow down. He's going to have to live with the sand for the rest of the game. He gets a Roost off as his sub gets popped. There's a Crunch, 37%. There's another Roost, back up to a hundo. Can the Kyurem get some ground back for Lax? Takes the Crunch at 39%, and again, it's simply Roost. Crunch with 15 PP left, so I'm not sure what the plan is here. Begging for an eventual defense drop or what have you. But he's trying to stall out the Crunches, evidently. He just keeps roosting over and over. There is the defense drop. He's had enough. He goes Blizzard here. 41% that's going to do. Another one would kill. Crunch is going to leave Kyurem very low. And another defense drop. I'm not clear what the play was there. I guess he roosted thinking there would be a switch, but there was not. And Fakes just continues to click Crunch over and over again. This time it's going to connect with Gliscor on the way in. It goes down to about half. Earthquake going for the kill as opposed to the Roost. Going to do a nice chunk of 23% to the Reunculus on the way in. And now Jirachi coming in for Lax, which we haven't seen since, I believe, turn 1 when he led with it. Goes for the Iron Head, for the flinch. Doesn't find it. There's the Calm Mind, but he still may find it. He could definitely get some cooperative flinch BS. We've seen it done a bazillion times with Rachi before, and that's exactly what he's going for. He's going to connect with the Gliscor now, and he goes to his own Gliscor to probably try to heal it up. He's got to be careful of Ice Fang potentially, however. We know that Fakes doesn't have it, but we have not seen the full set yet for Lax. And there is the Ice Fang. However, Fake scouts for it, and he's going to get that on the Reunculus as opposed to the opposing Gliscor. So good switching there for Fakes, good scouting, does not get his Gliscor killed by that, and his Reunculus once again is back to full. Ice Fang bouncing off at 9%. There's hidden power. Gliscor down for Lax, and now he's really in trouble. He is going to need a lot of cooperative Rachi BS, or he is going to lose and be eliminated. goes for the Iron Head. It does very little to Gastrodon with the resistance, and of course it has Recover as well. He's going to go for it again, just in case, and he gets the flinch. So incremental progress there, but he's going to need a lot more. He opts for U-turn. 15% goes to Reunculus now. There's the Recover. Fakes with his stall team. Everybody's very healthy. Here comes Rachi on the Reunculus. And we'll see what we want to do. It's the first pause. It's the first turn of not major action. U-turn, and we've got ourselves a mirror match. Fake's not threatened at all. Simply goes for Calm Mind. We've seen the full set from him as well. And again, Rachi is the answer. Lax seems to be leaning heavily on it, thinking it's the only way out of this game for him, and he might be right. He's going to need some cooperative Jirachi BS. There's the Iron Head flinch. He's going to need a lot more. Here comes Gastrodon. And there's the Iron Head again. He's not able to predict that and go for something like Fire Punch and try to get a burn or something on this Gastrodon. Iron Head again gets the flinch, and he again just U-turns out. He's not happy with the matchup. Goes to Kyurem here, hoping to sneak it in on a Recover, and he gets what he wanted. So he's got an opportunity to do more than nothing with the Kyurem here before it dies. And it is Roost and Scald respectively. He's just hoping to dodge a burn and get this guy healthy again. Blizzard, massive damage there, 67. Earthquake, not bad, 29, but obviously Blizzard way more. And the faster Kyurem here, now a threat to kill. He's going to go for Roost on the switch. Fakes knows that's going to happen. Takes the opportunity to get T-Tower in. And there is Superpower nearly killing him. Can he land another Blizzard? He doesn't go for it. He's going to go for Roost. And he should survive now with the attack reduction that the T-Tower gave itself. And he's going to go Roost yet again. He's only got 7 of them left. But the Kyurem gets back to full health. Alakazam making its first appearance here. Goes Psychic. Bounces off Reunculus. And we've got, again, a mirror match here. Of course, Lax doesn't have his lefties. He did lose that long ago, but it doesn't matter with the Sand because of the Magic Guard ability. There's Recover, and there is a Psychic bouncing off 11% against the superior boosted Fakes Reunculus. Here comes Jirachi, and there's Calm Mind number 2. This just seems like a poke that Lax at this point has a very hard time dealing with. Rachi, the only thing he can do, and he just has to cross his fingers that the Iron Heads get the job done. He does get a crit here on the Gliscor, but he's going to need another one in order to get him here. Gliscor pretty healthy with the Protect Poison Heal. Iron Head looking for a flinch or another crit. Gets neither. Earthquake comes down 65%. He can just protect here, but he does not. And there is the Iron Head. Fakes is going to give up his Gliscor. I'm a little bit surprised by the way that he played that, but I guess he views it as a way to force damage onto something with this T-Tower. That's exactly what he manages to do. There's the Crunch, and something is going to die one way or another. It turns out to be the Reunculus. We've got ourselves a 4-2 at this point. There's Crunch, 39%, and once again we have the Kyurem just staring at the T-Tower and roosting for dear life. We saw this before. He needs to avoid getting hit with a defense drop that sometimes happens with Crunch, and so far in 2 attempts, make that 3 attempts, he has managed to do that. Crunch and Roost respectively. Kyurem almost at full health. There's Struggle coming down from T-Tower, kills himself with a recoil, and Lax takes the opportunity to sub up. Great sequence for him, giving himself a shot. Blizzard finally misses for him for the first time all game, and there is Psyshock popping the sub. Kyurem is going to have to be perfect. He'll need crits or freezes or whatever it may be. He misses the Blizzard again, so now he's really in trouble. He must find some hacks here. He connects, but he does not get the crit or the freeze. However, Fakes goes for Calm Mind, so he'll have another shot here to find a crit or a freeze with the Blizzard if he has PP left, which he does. He's got 3 of them. There's Roost and Psyshock respectively. He's going to go for sub. That's also going to get Psyshocked. I think Lax has to just attack here. He actually kills himself accidentally with the sub there, which I think was bad. I think he had to click Blizzard and just pray that it cooperates. Alakazam should get the job done now. Rachi, the only thing alive for Lax. It's not going to be good enough. Shadow Ball with the insta-crit, and down Lax goes. A close series here, back and forth, but Fakes is going to be the winner here. I'm not sure how Fakes managed to come back in the DPP game in particular, but he managed and he earned himself this one. Fakes was definitely back against the wall in this series, did not concede, played it out, and looked like he actually gives a shit about this tournament, which is great to see. So Fakes is the winner here, and Lax is going to be out. Like I said, this is not round one. Lax did defeat an opponent in order to be here. He's going to exit with a 1-2 record, but Fakes is the winner. One more time, guys, I just want to remind you, if you guys want to be involved in this tournament, see the games as they happen, check out the games that are not going to make it to YouTube from rounds 1 and 2. The best way to do that is to get in my Discord server. There's a link in the description. Also, this tour, like all these other tours that I get involved in with the hosting, is taking donations. We've got a little bit over 600 in the prize pool right now. If you want to contribute to that, strictly optional, but very much appreciated. Look forward to all the coverage, all the matches of Permasand Invitational on the tour, on this channel on YouTube from here on out. Thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next video.